to the cop, Doc. I'm doing this video today, but I see on Twitter or X the amount of rival fans giving out about Liverpool spending money, and yeah, crazily, for once in the Premier League summer, during the Premier League summer, it's unbelievable. And the crying is unbelievable, listen to them. So I'm no accountant by any means, and I'm no expert in all this, but even a normal Joe Soap like me can figure out that the word that everyone's not liking at the moment, which is net spend. Now, if I buy that phone for 800 quid or whatever it is, it's really simple to think about. If I buy that phone for 800 quid and next year I want to get the upgrade and I go and sell that for, I'm not going to get my money back, I'm probably going to get 500 for it, I don't know, 500 quid. Well, that 500 quid is going to go towards my next phone. It's simple as that. Now, if I was to buy that phone for 800 quid, like I said, but next year I threw it away and wanted to buy obviously the newer phone, well, she wouldn't be too happy in there. Just like the chairman and the owners wouldn't be too happy if you were recklessly throwing money away. So, when I see Liverpool doing business like this, I think it's brilliant that they're able to get off players that won't be considered first teamers or won't be getting enough game time, and they're able to get them off and get money in order to spend the money that you're crying about. Now, I have a thing here, I'll put the link in the description of the money that's been spent and where you can find it. It's called Transfermarkt.com. I'll put the link in the description. Now, it's in euros. I don't know how to change the currency or anything like that. Liverpool has spent 482 million. Colossal money, no doubt about it. But as I said, we'll go back actually to next season, see what we spent there and see was there as much crying. Probably not. Liverpool spent 482 million, but they brought in 219.5 million back in that. So net spend is 263.4 million. Okay, that's what they've really spent. Arsenal spent 293.5 million this summer. They've had 14 departures, according to this. Now, I don't want to go in and go through the players. Now, that could be players coming in and coming back from the season and go back out again. I don't know. But there's been 14 departures. Income has been 10 million. 10.3 million is all it took in. And their net spend is 283.2 million, which is more than Liverpool's. So no matter what way you want to dicky it up for this summer, they're out more money. Simple as that. They're out more money. And I see the Arsenal fans crying on Twitter and X. Now, if that was the other way around, I'd have the neck on me to say, yeah, if that was the other way around as Liverpool, I'd say, yeah, you know, Jesus, we should be getting more money in for the players that's leaving. It'd be common sense, that's what I would say. But there's some fans out there with necks on them was unbelievable. Not them all, because I know some Arsenal fans are sound. I know some Man United fans sound. I know, like, every club has sound heads on it that can weigh everything up. But there's a lot of fellas out there with neck. And you don't know if they're trolls, maybe they are. But it's some neck anyway, I can tell you that. That's this season. Now, I want to do this comparison because when nobody was moaning last year, because I'm FSG's biggest critic. They drove me mental for the lack of spending I think they have done over the past few seasons, especially when you want to be consistently at the top there. Now, I know Klopp wasn't probably not say, like we say, other clubs that wouldn't spend as much as Liverpool. For Klopp's team, and you could say the top 6 or the top 8 clubs, Liverpool were, to me, and I'll find out because I'm doing this live, I'd say they're well down the market, like, you know. So I was FSG's biggest critic, and they didn't spend money it used to, especially last season. It drove me mental. But anyway, we're going to go up to last season. So 24, 25, 24, 25. This is when no one was crying. Okay, no one was moaning then about Liverpool. But because they've won the league, it's annoying them now because they're actually going again to spend money and really try to maintain this form or this, you know, period. So let's find out who's the biggest spenders last season. Chelsea, okay, 281 million, but they brought in 239 million. 32 departures. But they've only a net spend, again euros, but this is going to go across with pounds. It's still in the minuses, or whatever way you want to look at. Liverpool Last season, when nobody was crying, was 20th. 20th. They spent 42 million last year. They were the worst spending team in the Premier League last season, or the least spending team, should I say. Nobody was crying. So, let's go back. No, let's get it actually, because I don't want to go on to make this video any longer than it should be. Let's go back from, and we'll even throw in Liverpool's crazy summer, this summer. So we're going to go from this summer, 25-26. We'll go back the last 5 seasons, okay? The last 5 seasons, which is 2021 to 25-26, okay? Now, let's find out who spent the most in them 5 years. Now, we're including Liverpool, as I said, in this, because with the 400, the crazy summer they're after having. So, the biggest spenders over the last 5 seasons is Chelsea, understandably so, 2.09 billion. Manchester City, 1.1. Manchester United, 1.1. Arsenal, 1.08. Okay, Liverpool are in 6th with 1.02. Tottenham's 5th, I don't know if I said that. Now, that's spenders. Income in them 5 years. Who brought in the most? Chelsea, Man City, Brighton, Wolverhampton, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Southampton, Bournemouth, West Ham, Leicester. Now, over them 5 seasons, the biggest losers, or net spend if you want to call it that, is Chelsea, 953 million. Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool. Okay, now you would imagine that, you know, the top, as I said, top 6, 8 clubs who's kind of always hovering around the top and trying to find success, they will always be the biggest losers over a period of time. So when you weigh up them 5 years, Liverpool are doing great business. Brilliant business, by the way. Like, this summer obviously sticks out a good bit because they spent it, they're buying the league. But they've done great business. You know what I mean? They're getting, like, I can't find it here off the top of my head, but Darwin Núñez left, Diaz, Kwanzaa, like, they can generate money from sales. And I'm seeing other, like, the club is being run absolutely brilliantly. But because, as I said, Liverpool won Premier League and they're trying to maintain this success by going out and making sure we're all right for the next couple of seasons, there's a problem. Nobody was crying when they weren't spending it. You know, last season, I think Liverpool fans, well, half them, you know, were probably confident. Well, I wouldn't say confident enough in the league, but half them were happy where Liverpool, you know, would probably hopefully get top 4 with slots first season. Half of us was very frustrated. Me, I was definitely frustrated we didn't spend money last season. We bought Chiesa, but that was, I don't know what that, I mean, it was only, I can't think of the figure, but it was hardly nothing. And then that's not including, I think they were 5 million better off. Yeah, they were 5 million better off last season on income and expenditure. So that was a season, as I said, we're 20th in the table for spending. Look, I'm not even going to do the 10 years, or can I, really quick? We know that Liverpool is going to be way down below the main clubs for spending money. The clubs who want to have success. Unfortunately for the clubs below that, they don't have the money generated in order to spend it and stuff. And I know the fair play and all that, even if they did, like owners for Newcastle came in, they probably wouldn't be able to spend it unless they generated over a couple of seasons. I'm no expert in all this, as I said. I'm just a normal Joe So, but I do have a bit of cop on when it comes to things like this. That fans shouldn't be complaining when Liverpool is spending money, but they're able to get it in as well. And they shouldn't be complaining if your club is spending money and then you're letting players go for loan, you're letting them go for free, and you're giving them colossal wages, and it's not working out. That's not Liverpool's problem. But again, if you were in the situation as a fan, that if you were a fan of, say, I don't know, Arsenal, Man United, Man City, anything like that, Chelsea, you wouldn't be complaining if it was the other way around. Not a hope of it. So it's absolutely, look, as I said, not everyone's at it, but when you hear certain fibbing and crying about it, it's just ridiculous. And I don't even know if you can get through to them, even if you show them the figures. I don't know, maybe you're talking to the wall out there, I don't know. But yeah, so basically, look, I'm going to go last 10 years, what we say, 21, 20, so we'll go 15, 16, so we'll just do it over 10 years now. This is it now, I'm finishing up on this. 10 years, the biggest spenders are Chelsea, 2.8 billion. Man City third, Manchester City second, Manchester United third, Arsenal fourth, Liverpool fifth. Okay, now our great one, the net spend that no one seems to like. The biggest losers in money has been Manchester United, Man City second, Arsenal third, Chelsea, I can't find it, oh here they are, sixth. They're down sixth. So when you start cribbing about Liverpool spending money, check this out. I'll have the link in the description. As I said, I'm no expert when it comes to this, but maybe I'll be very, very open, because I can take it if somebody can come in and write a comment and then how I'm seeing things wrong, or I'm wrong, and that I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but that's the way I make it up. And that Liverpool is a club that's doing very, very clever business. I don't know what to say to you. I think you should quit the crying, and I'm sure you'd like to be in the same position. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you. Take care. Bye.